Hey there guys, I've progressed this model a little bit since last time you saw. If you want to see how to add meshes, feel free to check out my first video. The last video we did was weight painting, where I weighted this dress. This one we're going to be adding bones. I thought it was a really good way to follow on. Let's get into it. So first up, in Blender, if you ever want to add anything into your scene, press Shift and A. It has a whole heap, but what we're after today is under armature and then single bone. There we go. So it's going to just dump this giant ass bone on us. Feel free to just move this out and scale it to a rough size that you need for your mesh. Now it's in position. The next thing we want to be going to is bone properties in the right hand side. This is the little green bone here, and we're just going to name it what we want. I had a name convention before. It's very important to be following name conventions, otherwise things will very quickly go out of control and you won't know what anything is. My previous one, I called it dress underscore back. So I'm going to call this one dress underscore front. Now, you want to be positioning this bone for the entire length. It doesn't matter how many bones you want along. You want this one bone to fit all the way along. Reason being, in edit mode, you can click on the bone, right click, and then subdivide. And if you want a little bit more control, there's this little pop-up window in the bottom left. Any action will bring this up in Blender. And I'm going to increase this to 3 cuts. 3 cuts will give us 4 bones and it's evenly split. Now, one thing to be careful of, Blender is not too smart and doesn't know how to count. So if I go to this bone, it's called dress front. Next bone is dress front 3. This one is dress front 2 and this is 1. Yeah, so feel free just to fix that real quick. Alright, with that fixed up, like our first mesh we did in our first video, this is now an armature that is outside of our existing one. You can tell by these bones being grey and the ones on our body being see-through. So, under Cat's tool, in custom model creation, there's a really neat tool that makes it nice and easy, is merge armature. Make sure 0 weight bones is ticked off because we haven't weighted anything and these will just get deleted. There is no mesh because we've only added bones and there's no point doing apply transforms. So I'm just going to merge these in and you'll be able to see that now if I go to my armature and I go to edit mode, our bones are now just sitting there at the front. The next thing we need to do is parent the bones. At the moment this has no parent. Under bone properties again, there is a section here, relations. Under parent, we're just going to type hip. I'm just going to parent to the hips. This is dependent on where your whatever mesh you're creating is connected to. Say if I had something on the wrist, I would do it to the forearm or the wrist bone. On the chest, chest bone. For me, this dress is connected to the hip. Now this is done. I'm just going to go into weight paint mode. If you're unsure what I'm doing, feel free to check my last video about weight painting. Alright, welcome back to weight painting. Now, if I were to control click on one of these bones, it lags for a second and it comes up pink. That's because there is no vertex data on this bone. There is nothing. As soon as I click, it's going to have some vertex data and it's going to be like registered, if that makes sense. All we're going to do for these bones is be rough. Like the data transfer, it's better to have a starting point and edit the starting point than try and make something perfect from the bat. So we're just going to be rough. Under tools and draw, I'm going to be using the draw brush. I like to increase my brush to around about anywhere between 50 to 60% with a full strength. Feel free to use front facing. It completely depends. So I don't want to be weighting the dress behind it. I'm going to be using it. And what I like to do is look at the rough size of the bone. I can see that the bone ends around here. So I'm going to paint this around the length of the bone. And I'm going to go to the next one. And you can see the bones from here to here. You can sort of, it might be rough on the recording, but you can sort of see the blue outline. See the bone. So again, I'm sort of be rough. Next, the next bone, you can sort of see from here up. Just going to repeat that all the way up. A good thing is, I'm going to check this hip bone. You're going to see this hip bone's coming right down onto this dress. I might need to edit this. Now, I just want to make sure that everything has been weighted. That I haven't missed a single vertex. I haven't missed anything. I'm going to go back into my viewport, back to CAT's plugin, stop start pose mode. And I'm just going to grab this bone and just pull it up. If I had missed anything when painting, it's going to be clipping back down. It's going to be tearing and stretching. I can already tell that these hips need to be changed, as it's like it's pulling my mesh a lot. So I want to go back and edit this. Alright, one thing that I really love doing, I showed this off in my white painting, but very quickly, just going over things with a blur brush. See how I have this really nice gradient going into this. Go here and blur this out. Go to the next one. Oh. There we go. Just blur these out. Nice transitions. Now, in order to reduce just how much this hip bone is now affecting the front of my dress, under draw, bring the weight down to 0. I'm going to do the strength down to about 50%. All I'm going to do is just go over this. Blur this out. And we're just going to test how this looks. Easy. So again, I go to rendered, I'm going to go to cats, I'm going to stop start pose mode again. It gets pretty repetitive here. Now I'm going to test how this curls. So if I click on this and I'm bend this, that's a pretty good fold. I like that bone. And I like that one too. Oh, I twisted that one. There we go. Now, purely because that this is weighted so heavily onto the hip, I'm going to just tweak these weights so I get no clipping. Oh, and there you have it. Super easy, super quick tutorial on adding bones. If you have any other questions, feel free to join my Discord. I've seen a few people joining, so welcome everybody. Don't be shy, my DMs are always open if you have questions. For everyone, all the new guys who just joined, mainly from Nina, welcome. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it quite a lot. I do have an Instagram. I'm not too active on there, but when I remember, I try to be. And yeah, feel free to follow my Twitch as well. Some late night chill streams, or just working on some stuff. So thank you for the support. I do take recommendations if there's anything you would like me to cover. Yeah, have a good one.